Welcome back to Love Where You Live with Mint Construction. I'm Kate.
I'm Nathan, the project manager.
And today we're here with our homeowner, Joe, and this was his project. Can you tell us a little bit about your home and what we renovated in it?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we moved in, there were a couple areas of the house that we wanted to improve and kind of make more of our style. We started with the kitchen, moved our way into the office, and then finished off with the basement.
So here we are in your updated kitchen, and it's a whole lot different than what it was.
It is.
So tell us about some of the changes that were done.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful kitchen to begin with, but very farmhousey. So when we moved in, what we wanted to do was have a more modern kitchen. So you look at a lot of brass, very clean and very sterile lines. We did countertops, we did all the light fixtures, we redid all of the appliances, and painted all the cabinets. So painted these a darker color, painted those cabinets a lighter color, and then took out some cabinets so you had more of like an airy sense as you entered the kitchen, a very open feeling.
I think it really did that too. I love the dark cabinets and the dark countertops, but then like the juxtaposition of all the white.
Absolutely, it's really cool, and that's something that my wife and I wanted to go for. Wanted to have that dark and then like contrasted with the white.
And Joe, I like how you guys carried the countertop material through as your backsplash as well. It really makes it look nice.
Yeah. More cohesive. All right, let's go check out your office.
Great. So welcome to my office. When we first moved in, we did not have the built-ins or the bookshelf that you see behind me, and the space was a lot lighter, so the walls were lighter. With the dark or the black walls, one of our thoughts was, by painting this black, if you look up, the ceiling's black, and it kind of makes the space infinite. So it makes the space seem a lot larger than it actually is, because you can't see the ceiling when you're in here. We wanted to open up the space a little bit more too. So we wanted to have a desk where I could have some seats as well as my desk, and we could have meetings in this office. And that wasn't the case without the bookshelves or this desk behind me.
This is actually the second iteration of this office. Originally it was going to be a desk and then just bookshelves, but Joe and Laura realized that it was going to be better to compress everything into the wall. So we worked with our millwork partner and came up with this setup. It looks really cool. One
of the things too is you had this kind of awkward closet that you couldn't put your desk up against. So the ladder kind of gives a visual appeal, but you can still use it.
So here we are in the lounge and theater area. Joe, do you want to tell us about the space?
Absolutely. So when we moved in, this was a great space. So we had already a built-in theater, and then we had this whole section as a game room, and there was some cabinets and a small wet bar over here. What we wanted to do was kind of reimagine the space as a dedicated bar with a distinct lounge, and then we wanted to put a couple different things like on tap and a couple places where we could store some additional drinks. We decided to go with a dark look. So we wanted to have the overall sense when you're down here be relaxed, be very moody, and a place where you can kind of hang and just chill.
Remember when we went through the design process, you kind of wanted to look like a speakeasy.
Yes.
And so it was like dark cabinetry, dark countertops, and one of the big things, remember, is the brass shelving. That was a big part, because anytime you go to a fancy bar, that's kind of what you see, and that's what you wanted to have.
Yeah. And if you look, so we have the brass shelving, we have brass taps, we have brass light fixtures, we have brass tables, so we kind of use that theme throughout the whole space.
We weren't totally sure what we wanted it to look like originally, so we came up with a couple different things and was able to order this from a company that makes high-end brass finishes for restaurants and bars and hotels. It does work well with the space, and the nice thing about higher ceilings is you can push your scale vertically a little bit higher than you normally would.
Another thing that makes it feel like a real bar is the fact that you have the brass footrail that goes around the cabinet. You have the raised height, and I guess the main thing that makes it feel like a real bar is you have a real bar.
We actually have two different beers on tap. So I have Errant from Pale Fire and Truthsayer from Pale Fire. It tastes exactly like you're at Pale Fire.
So this house was a beautiful house before, but like you said, you really wanted it to be your own. And I feel like you've really done that with just even the functionality of the place, where you have a lot of guests over often and you wanted a place for everyone to hang out and do all of that. Do you feel like you achieved that?
Yeah, this place feels like ours now. Like it feels like it's part of us, it's part of my wife and ours home, really.
Joe, thanks for letting us take this project on and get everything done to your, hopefully, satisfaction.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
Thanks for joining us on Love Where You Live with Mint Construction. Tune in next time.